Hi students, welcome to this session and we shall be taking up strategy, math, verbal section. Precisely we shall be talking about how to score well in math verbal section. So let's have an overview of this session. Primarily in this section, we shall be talking about pattern and types of questions and how to handle these different types of questions. First of all, let's have an overview of 2014 December math verbal section. So there were 200 questions comprising 5 sections. Each section had 40 questions and marking scheme 1 mark per question, number of options 4 and negative mark 0.25 per question. Now if we look at the breakup of verbal components 2014, you will realize yourself that the most important section to score well in math verbal section is reading comprehension, as there were 20 questions based on reading comprehension, followed by the next important section, vocabulary based questions comprising antonyms, synonyms and sentence completion, fill in the blanks questions. There were 3 sentence rearrangement questions and 3 questions based on sentence correction and grammar. Now straight away coming on to 2015 December math verbal section. So again, as usual, 5 passages, 4 questions each, therefore total 20 questions based on RCs, 4 questions based on sentence rearrangement, 8 questions this time were based on sentence correction and grammar, 4 questions based on fill in the blanks. Sometimes we also come across critical reasoning based questions. Now in critical reasoning based question, the fundamentals will remain the same. Likewise we do in verbal section of CAT or any CAT level exam. Generally we are asked to find out an assumption or an inference made by the author, or which would logically follow from the given passage, etc. So we shall be taking up these sample questions also. So primarily what we can make out from this data, the most important make or break section is reading comprehension, and if you have to score well, then primarily we have to focus on 3 areas. 1, the reading comprehension, 2nd, the vocabulary, because it will help you in handling or attempting antonyms, synonyms and fill in the blanks. In addition to increasing our level of comfort with this language, primarily reading comprehensions. And 3rd very important area is your grammar, because you will find grammar based or sentence correction based questions. So you need to focus on these 3 areas to score well in math verbal section. Now in next 2 slides you will find that RC subject. First RC math 2015 December was based on climate change. 2nd, related to depression among people. 3rd, related to politics, especially planning commission or what we call Niti Aayog. Next slide, RC number 4, female feticide. RC number 5 was based on medicine, disease, asthma, etc. All the RCs were moderate and except few critical reasoning based on these passages. So if you have to score well in math verbal section, first focus on RC, 2nd increase the diversity in your reading, because you have seen yourself that passages were from diverse areas, and sometimes if passages lying outside your comfort zone or you're not familiar with the subject, you haven't read many articles on this or any particular difficult area, then you'll not be able to score well in math verbal section. Now the very important part, the strategy. What should be done, what should we focus upon, and how should we go about to score well in math verbal section. First of all, time management is very important. No doubt we are given ample time, approximately 150 minutes to solve 200 questions. If I take GK questions out of the important areas, then again I can utilize the time to be given to GK in solving other areas. But still we should not devote more than 35 to 40 minutes on this section, and we should try to attempt 70 to 80% of the section, that is approximately 32 questions, 32 to 34 questions, and if I'm not able to manage the entire paper in time, then it is advisable that you should leave one RC so as to manage other easy questions, because there you'll come across 5 RCs, and let's say I'm saying 35 to 40 minutes, and if you are spending 10 minutes per RC, then your entire spent time would be consumed by reading comprehensions only. So it is not wise or advisable to go for all RCs until unless you have very good reading speed and great level of comfort with this language. So paper is dominated by reading comprehension, vocabulary and grammar. So need to focus on these 3 areas. Normally you will find passages easy to moderate. So you need to increase your reading speed. You need to take a little risk and have faith and believe in whatever you are reading. So you need to brush up your fundamentals related to grammar and critical reasoning. On the whole, in a nutshell, the focus should be on increasing the accuracy and at the same time maximize the number of attempts. But at the max, one can go 70 to 80% of the total section. That means one can attempt minimum 24 to at the max 30 to 34 questions. So, but the accuracy, the very important point is accuracy. Accuracy should be minimum 70%, or at the max we can achieve 80%. Now we shall pick up few questions based on 2015 December verbal section MAT. Now this question which you can see on your screen is based on parajumbling or sentence rearrangement. Generally we are given 3 or 4 or 5 sometimes sentences, jumbled up sentences, and we have to rearrange them in a proper logical order after understanding the context, no doubt. So on the very first screen you can see 3 sentences A, B and C. Take your time and go through these sentences. I shall be moving on to the next slide. In case if you have to read these sentences again, take pause and come back. Now these are remaining 2 sentences along with the choices. We see that in 3 options, the opening sentence is given to be C. The sentence C is an opener as per the 3 choices. So my task immediately would be to go back to the sentence C to check whether this is an opener or not. So I'll go back to sentence C. Now C says that in this age of multimedia, we have to train ourselves to understand that as a rule the medium is the message. So this is very general and sentence we are talking about the entire multimedia and talking about the rule, and the medium is message. C definitely would open the sequence. Now we have to check whether what will come, CA. Now in 2 options he has given CA. So my next task would be to check whether CA or CD. So let's read D first. D says it also has an impact. Now it also means there has to be something before this sentence. So this choice gone. So we are left with CA. I'm now damn sure, 100% sure that after CA will come. So let's go back to A then. So what is that medium is the message. After all, is further explaining that how come this is medium itself is a message, because the story told on a large screen inevitably differs from that told on small screen. So this is a primarily major difference between large and small, or the kind of medium we are using to convey our message, to put our message across. So after CA, now in A sentence you will find one keyword differs, and this difference you will find in this B sentence. So CAB, these 3 sentences are forming a mandatory trio. So answer would be, now CAB forming mandatory trio. Now we need to check ED or DE. So D, it also has an impact. So we are further explaining that one more impact is also there, CABD, and E will finally conclude the sequence. Therefore the answer option will be option number 3. Now this is the answer to this question, previous question. Now this question which you can see on the screen is based on sentence correction or sentence improvement. Generally we are given 4 sentences and we have to pick up the sentence which is grammatically and contextually and idiomatically making sense. Now if you read the sentence, you will find that in the given question we are given the correlation between human need and human greed. As we know that greed is dangerous than need, but context says that sometimes even need would be as dangerous as greed. So you need to pick up the sense or the sentence where the need is also highlighted as something dangerous, because as we all know that greed is always dangerous and will remain always dangerous. So there is no point in picking that greed is dangerous over need. So this is a very obvious fact, and there is no mention of this that greed is dangerous. Sometimes even need is also as dangerous as greed. So pick up the option where this sentence or this context is conveyed. So if you go through all the sentences, the previous two and these two sentences, you will find that sentence option 3 is absolutely fine in conveying the sense. Therefore, answer to this question is option 3. Now this question is based on fill in the blanks, or what we call sentence completion. And in this sentence we have been given 2 blanks followed by 4 options. Each option has 2 words, and we need to understand the context and pick up the right answer option. The very simple trick is read the context, pick up the keywords, guess the tone of try to anticipate the tone of the given sentence, and you will be able to find the right answer option. Now the sentence goes like this: the chief quality, the very first keyword is chief. Quality of nation state has to do with definition of national. Second keyword national. Rather than, the third keyword rather than. We need to focus on the previous one before rather than, and we should not focus on what is written after rather than. The focus should be on first in journal. So go through all the options. So second option is negated because tranquility is not making any sense. Tranquility means peace. So we should focus on crisis rather than international peace is not making any sense. Very close option, demands versus pressures. Option 4 is very close. And identity and boundaries. Boundaries seems to be a little correct but not fitting well. Especially the first word in third option is not going well. So the fight is between option 1 and option 4. So we should be very particular about our own interests rather than international policy, or what should be done in order to maintain our image or our interest in international activities or affairs. So first is better than fourth. Therefore answer would be option 1. Now this is answer to the previous question right now we have discussed. Now this is critical reasoning based question. You'll come across in math sometimes, not always. Generally we are given one paragraph and we are asked all of the following will follow except one on the basis of the given passage, or all of the following are wrong except one. So we need to understand the crux of the passages, and then we can decide which particular option is going fine with the given passage or which is going out of the given passage. So now passage is about capitalism and neo-colonialism. Capitalism means where money or the profit is main consideration, or we can say market driven economy, and neo means new colonialism, means it's a new style of ruling other countries, and this rule is governed by, dictated by stronger countries. So colonialism means making colonies in weak countries. So capitalism and neo-colonialism feed upon each other. Very important line. Both are marked by aggressive administrations, expanding markets, and pyramidal hierarchies. Means pyramid means base would be wide, and as we go up it will keep on tapering. There would be one command or one central command. In both the cases, their glossy exterior conceals brute force. Author is comparing these two areas and is talking about the cruelness hidden behind their glossy outlooks. So go through all the options, you will find one option exactly going opposite to whatever has been stated. So these are other 3 options, and if you look at option 4 carefully, you will find that option 4 is going totally against the very first line of the passage. In very first line it was mentioned that they feed upon each other, and option 4 is saying that they are independent of each other. So this is not going as per the passage, therefore this is an answer option. So answer to this question is fourth option. Now this question which you can see on your screen is based on sentence correction or the grammar part error. A sentence is divided into 4 parts and we have to pick up the part which is grammatically incorrect. Now if you go through all the sentences, you will find that part 2 of this sentence, option 2, is little out of track because of of and between used together. It says that analysts believe that US economy grew at an annual pace of between 4 to 5. So annual pace of 4 to 5% is fine. Between is redundant here. So this is wrong. So option 2 would be our answer option. Now the next question is based on assertion region. One assertion is given to us. Assertion means statement and followed by reason. And 4 choices are also given. Mark 1 if A and R are correct and R is correct explanation of A. Mark 2 if A and R are correct but R is not the correct explanation. A is true, R is false, so on and so forth. Now let us read the question. It says that assertion, the main statement, mercury is used in thermometer. The reason which author has given, mercury is the only metal in liquid form. Now both A and R are correct, but R is not the correct explanation of A. We use mercury because it is temperature sensitive. It is not that it is only metal which is in liquid form. That's why it is used to measure heat or the temperature. So answer would be option 2, where it is clearly mentioned that A is correct, R is also correct, but R is not the right explanation of A. Hence the answer would be second option. So to know more about MAT and other such exams, you can log on to our YouTube channel www.hitbullseye.com, and you will find other related videos also on individual topics as well. In case of any problem, doubt or query, do write to us. Thank you.